got to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Hi, y'all. It's Wednesday again. And in the third hour on Wednesdays, it is Manhood Hour. Every third hour is Manhood Hour. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week, and it is a doozy. Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother? Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother or grandmother? Amazing question. Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother? Smoke on that. That's deep. And every human being has an impression of their mother and or grandmother or both. And they never question, where did I get this impression? How come I think and feel the way I feel about them or see them in the way I see them? Where did that come from? We have every way that you can support the show listed on Watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can, if you're like busy or something, you're running, jogging, working out, swimming, and if you're a male swimming on a woman's team, beating them in the game, in their own game, or whatever, boxing with them and knocking them out. Or you're a lady trying hard to knock out the man, or you're picking cotton this morning, or whatever you're doing. You can listen to the show. You can podcast the show, but you can listen by calling the listen line on your iPhone or iPad at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, and cozy.tv/JLP, cozy.tv/JLP, where Christ is King. Christ is King. All right. Follow, subscribe, like, ring the bell, and all that good stuff. FYI, this shirt, United the Races with Truth, instead of dividing them with lies, you can get it at rebuildingtheman.com/store. rebuildingtheman.com/store. Amazing shirt. It's nice. And don't forget to have your comment read out loud. You can donate and have your comments read out loud at buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk and rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com. Also bond on JLP, bond JLP on Cash App. All right? So, it's a spiritual battle. Like, if you really, really, truly, and it has to be you, the individual that wants it. If you want to really see the battle, the spiritual battle, and you can, but you can't see it on your own. Because if you try to make yourself see it, it's just all intellectual, and you'll make yourself see something, and then the thoughts which are of your father, the devil, will be telling you that you see what you really don't see. And you'll start spouting it off because you really think you see what's going on. No human being, including Jesse Peterson, can see of him or herself. But it will be presented to you as you overcome or are able to really see what's going on with you. And you will clearly see, it will blow your mind because you will see without thinking about seeing. And you will see, and while you're seeing what's going on inside of you and outside of you, you're not thinking about what you see. You just see it, and you just see it, and it's like, wow. It is so interesting to me. It really is. And the more I get, the more I want. Can't get enough of your love, babe. I tried. Can't get enough of your love, babe. It's like the more you get, the more I want. And the more wisdom you get, the more you want. That's what's so nice about it. Because now you're at a point where there ain't no turning back. Because you do really see that there is another reality. And it's interesting to me that that reality can be hidden from the intellectuals, from the intellect. And the intellect can be so available, and you can literally believe that you see and you really don't. That is mind-blowing to me. It really is, folks. Growing up in life, growing up in Alabama, walking up and down the road, doing what I was doing, plowing the fields and swimming in the little lake behind the house. And I just never imagined that. I just didn't know what my life was going to be, to be honest. But it's amazing. So I won't name the show or anything, but I just have to be flipping through the TV looking for some news items, even though I don't trust the news anymore. And there is a show on the service station, more than just one, where they have the woman as the head of the show. They have 2 to 3 men co-hosting with them. And I'm looking at this without even trying. Honestly, I was not trying. And I see the women controlling the men like puppets on a string. And the men, grown men, one woman, but grown men melting in this woman world. And when they report the news, because each one of these different stations get a chance to report their topic for a minute, they always call out her name. Oh, you see here, so-and-so? And they don't do it as much or rarely do it with each other, but they do it with the woman. And she is sitting there like a queen on a throne, knowing she has control over those guys. I don't even think the guys realize that the woman is controlling them. It doesn't seem like unless they feel it, they know something wrong, but they don't know what to do about it. But they're like licking her boots and that melting. Oh, it's like mama, grown boys with mama. It is so interesting to see it. And I saw that it's all spiritual. It's the spirit, because we are spirits inside of a body. We're not our bodies at all, but human beings think that they are, right? And it's weird to see it. Weird in that you don't know. I don't know. You just don't know there's another way. And if you don't pay close attention to yourself, you're not going to know what's happening outside. You'll be out there saying things and doing things, and it'll be all wrong, but you'll believe it's all right. I had a caller call me up yesterday, a male caller, about the Great White Hope and this stupid so-called trial that they're having in New York with an evil female black so-called attorney general and the Great White Hope. And this person has already taken side of this female who has made it clear that she's doing it totally for ego attention. Showing up in the courts every day, sitting there looking with a stupid smile like Satan in the corner. And he is taking sides. It's interesting, this spiritual thing, folks. I know that, and I understand it's not personal, but I know that a lot of people are not going to work on themselves as seriously and committed to working on themselves as they should. I understand that. And I know that there are people who they say they want to overcome. They want to overcome, and I say, okay, do the silent prayer, and you can overcome, and they won't do it. They'll tell themselves, oh, I do it every day anyway. I'm just already present. And their whole world falling apart. But yeah, I'm present. I'm like, you don't do the silent prayer anymore? No, I do it sometimes, but I'm already present, and life's screwed up. I'm like, well, if you're present, why you don't know your life is screwed up? Why are you doing these things or those things? Why are you arguing with your girlfriend or fiance or wife or whatever it may be? Or your husband with the ladies. So I understand that most people are not going to put in the work, and it does take work. It takes you working on you. You're not making anything happen, but you're working on you. Always keep your eyes on yourself. Always. And most people are unwilling to do that. They ain't going to do that. That's too much work. Well, how am I going to keep my eyes on myself? I got to be looking at other people pointing their mess out, they say. So just suffer and die. Just suffer and die because you are dead spiritually. Your eyes may be open, barely breathing, but your eyes are open, right? Physical eyes, not your inner eyes. And I understand it. I totally do. And in my country, America, I want to say the greatest country, but it's not anymore. I would be lying. But it would feel nice to say it. It would feel like a patriot. And the people hear me say it, they were like, wow, that's a real patriot. And it would just be a thrill. But when you look outwardly, you see that that's not the case at all. And by the way, we have a one-party system now. We have a one-party system. Be not deceived. The Republican Party is no different than the Democratic Party. I was looking at, apparently they had some elections around the country this week, or last night. And apparently, I think in Virginia, they lost, they had like the House or the Senate or something they lost that. And in Kentucky, I think the Republican guy there lost, a black guy, lost somewhere, Tennessee, Kentucky, somewhere. And you know what, according to the reports, the primary issues for the Republican was abortion. They were trying to get an abortion bill done, and the Democratic Party is trying to legalize abortion as much as possible. And the Republicans, because they are no different in thinking and desires of the Democratic representative, they push an abortion rather than dealing with what's really going on. Crime, the border situation, drilling oil, real things. How these people are going to commit abortion? Let's say you had total law just said no abortion. If you commit abortion, you go into prison. These people are still going to commit abortion. They're going to find a way to have an abortion and kill the man's children. And our country would still fall apart. Why not deal with the issues of smash and grab and bring back police and bring back bail bonds and bring back close the border, finish the wall off, start back drilling oil, lower the taxes. You're not going to stop people from having abortions. Sorry. It's just two devils fighting. But the Republican go on and put that on the ballot. Most women today, it seems, because especially so-called educated women, they've been to college, they're smart, right? They totally love abortion. They have been convinced it's their body, their choice. And when you ask us, well, how did you create this body that belongs to you? They can't tell you. But it's a slogan. My body, my choice, right? And the slogan sounds good. And you get a thrill from that, and it makes you feel like it's your body, like you own it. Then you kill human beings in your body. We're celebrating evil. Well, not me, but most, and not all, but most. There are men and women waking up, for sure. Some are waking up, some are thinking that they're waking up, but they're not. Some are waking up, and others don't care. It's just the way it is. And do you think God and his son or his son are missing a step on this? Nope. They just sit there, you know what? We gave them the key to the kingdom. And if they don't pick up that key and unlock that gate and go into the kingdom, there's nothing we can do. We don't want anybody at our house that don't want to be there. But in my country and around the world, but especially America first, right? Always for me. In my country, they have celebrated evil. If you doubt me, watch this from X.
Gabby, what are we celebrating?
My divorce!
Now do you believe me? And these women like that, they're just lost. And it's because the God above is the man's God, and the God below is the woman's God. That's the spirit of evil working through her. What's the point of being dressed like that, half naked? You can almost see her, whatever. She's lost. She's longing for a father. And those people that celebrated with her, are lost as well. You can bank on it. There is evil and there is good. Whether you realize it or not, there is the devil and there is God. I would suggest do what you want. You overcome evil with good. All human beings are evil until they overcome. And they can overcome it with good. You can't overcome it by yourself. And unfortunately and sadly, the female nature, the female spirit is running our country now. Meaning that the spirit of evil through the female is running our country. And this is what you're getting. And that's not going to change, but you can change right in the midst of it. It doesn't have to continue to run you as an individual. But you have to be willing to let everyone go your children, everything. You can't hold on to anything if you want to be free. The female spirit, which is of the devil, is running wild in America. It wasn't always that way. From what I can gather and remember, the little I was paying attention at the time, it started with that old women movement thing. When they were marching, they want to walk naked, they want to be able to vote, they wanted this and they want that. And the man gave into it, and it's been downhill ever since. Because you can't give it to the devil. You give the devil an inch, he'll take a mile in your own personal life and in the lives outside of you and others. And the females, the men have given the females, not understanding the spirit of evil inside of them, control of the country. And the men are afraid of that spirit because they have not overcome that spirit, which is in their mothers. And so every woman they get involved with, whether it's just at work or at play or at church or married or dating or married, it's the same spirit. It's the mama spirit. And it's not her spirit, but the spirit of evil that made a home in her since Adam and Eve days. It's been passed down through Eve, all the way through the woman to this day. Women are not just doing this on their own, but a lot of them are operated for evil, supported evil in themselves, and they love it because they get an amazing thrill from it. They love it, and they know the men are afraid to correct it. And so they do get a love feeling from it, calling it life, which is really death. A good example of that, this is from CNN and ABC. The House voted Tuesday to advance a resolution to censure Democratic Representative Rashida Tlaib. When I become president, this woman, along with the whole so-called squad, I'm shipping all of them together back to Allahu Akbar country. The black ones and her. But they voted to censor this woman. Rashida Tlaib overcomes critical of Israel. Rashida became emotional on the House floor as she defended her views. But I want to really point out that this is what all women do when they want to control you. And if you are a emotional person, male or female, they will control you with this because you got to feel something about it. And the moment you feel something about it, they got you. I was counseling with a man in another state, and he was telling me how he's in this bad situation with this woman, and all the stuff that she's doing and how she's acting. He's like, but I feel sorry for her. I was like, okay, then let her kill you. Who gave you the right to feel sorry for someone else? Who are you that you have the gonad to feel sorry for anyone else? They don't feel sorry for themselves. And how can you save them? You can't even save yourself. A person that feels sorry for another person is a screwed up person themselves. And so you just have two sorry people, pitiful people. In love, perfect love, there is no sorrow. There is no condemnation. There is no revenge. There is no fear. There is no doubt. There is no, I can make things happen. There is no ego. So that you're going to see this woman carrying on and these other people with her. It's all an act. The female is crying. Some people tell me, I went and forgave my mama and she started crying. That was to manipulate you and control you so you would not forgive. And by you not forgiving, she feels like she was right in what she did. Because she's not ready to admit she was wrong to herself. So this Rashida Tlaib is all an act. And if you're an emotional person, you'll fall for it. Here are some of the highlights. Watch this from C-SPAN.
But we'll continue to say it is us who are not acknowledging humanity. Rashida will stand strong.
Gentlelady's time has expired.
The movement will continue for liberation until every single
Gentlelady's time has
Palestinian
expired.
has the right to
Gentleman
live
from
in
Maryland
liberty.
is recognized.
This is the place where our black and brown staff members repeatedly speak of experiencing racism and sexism, Islamophobia, get pushed off at elevators, xenophobia, and more right here in this workplace. And she takes the death threats that you all send that they
The gentlelady is no longer recognized. The gentleman from Maryland.
To her, the desire to save lives is greater.
Yeah, scream so they can believe
I can't
you.
believe I have to say this, but Palestinian people are not disposable.
Oh, that's right. Get up and patter.
We are human beings,
Drama, evil.
just like anyone else.
This body needs empathy and compassion for all people, not just
Female.
people that look like the majority of my colleagues on the other
Black
side
mama.
of the aisle. And maybe because of your lack of diversity, you lack the cognitive and emotional ability to recognize diverse opinions when they speak truth to power.
Oh, they're all grinning in the back. It's all in that. I promise you, it's all in that, and it's all evil. But the one thing for sure, and without a doubt, liberals know that they can always count on the blacks to help them in their hell. They know that, and so they hold blacks in captivity to use them for destruction. And the blacks are too happy to do it. They're like, okay, yeah, you want to destroy? Absolutely. Put me on the list. But you ask them, hey, stand up for America, stand for good, stand for what is right. That's white. Those people you saw right there, they were actors on a stage. And that little one with the head rag on that's supposed to have come here as a refugee, they let that woman come here from one of those Abba. What's that woman's name? Ilhan Omar. They need to quickly ship her back to Abba country and see if she'll carry on like that. They let an enemy brought her into our country and put her in our government. According to ABC, Tlaib critics point to her use of the phrase "from the river to the sea," which is considered by some as a call for ending Israel existence. Tlaib, however, has said it's an aspiration call for freedom, human rights, and peaceful coexistence, not death, destruction, or hate. Yeah, right. Y'all, why are you letting these foreigners in our government? I don't care who it is. If they're a foreigner, they have no business being in American government. As of this morning, according to CNN, the House passed a GOP-led resolution on Tuesday to censure Rashida Tlaib, which don't mean a thing. It's just a word. A spiritual battle. The female spirit is on the loose. Goodbye, America. It destroys the home, and now it's destroying the country. Ain't no coming back, but you can be free. It's a spiritual battle. It's not racism, sexism, homophobia, Allahubbaism, anti-Semitism, white supremacy. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. Amazing. For personal shout outs, and I do them for you, whether it's a birthday shout out, anniversary shout out, wedding shout out, whatever the shout out is, encouragement, you can go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And find our merch at rebuildingtheman.com/store, rebuildingtheman.com/store. Amazing merch. Christmas is coming up, Thanksgiving is coming up, then Christmas, then all that. Be amazing gifts, all right? Tote bags, hoodies, even with the great white hope on them. Beta. It's Santa Claus. You can get united the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies there. Let me see so you can see it. Oh, amazing. Oh, like that. Amazing. All kind of stuff, all right, for Christmas. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to check out BigClubUSA.com. BigClubUSA.com. Watch this. People tell me I have a lot of alpha energy. Jesse, what gives you so much alpha energy, they say? Is it energy drinks? No. Is it cigars? No. It's Alpha Jerky. Alpha Jerky from Big Club USA. Alpha male. And you can have Alpha Jerky energy too. Amazing. It's amazing. BigClubUSA.com and use the promo code JLP33 for 15% off of your purchase. All right? And last but not least, the JLP Radio Network YouTube and Instagram channel are now officially active. It's amazing. And we're posting daily. Yes. We are posting daily, so make sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at JLP Radio Network. Amazing. Wake up, people. Just wake up. And even if you lose everyone or everything around you, most people, period, they're not what you think they are. Really, in your mind, you have the wrong illusion about people. When you wake up, you're going to be like, what the? The heart of human beings, the hearts of human beings are wicked. That's why You can't trust them at all. And God said, hey, don't trust an angry person. What do? You trust an angry person. What do? They turn. They put on a front, and then the moment one disagreement comes or something happens where they can no longer get from you what they wanted, cunningly wanted, secretly wanted, they turn, they snap. But they were loving you up until then. And they can't help it. It's their nature. Because anyone who has anger, their nature is that of devil. And in that, there is no truth. There is no love. There is nothing but anger. 888-7753-773. Let me go to a first-time call out of Missouri. Timothy. Hey, Timothy.
What's up, babe?
All is well. How you doing?
How you doing, man?
All is well.
Yeah, I hope all is well. God bless you.
Thank you. What's up?
Nothing. I'm just sitting here, worried about. I'm going through some things. I don't know what to say now that I'm actually on. I'm sorry.
Hold on, Timothy.
My girl. I'm going through some things with my girl, and she goes to church, and I'm a God-loving man, but I don't believe in Christianity. I don't believe that you could just be a bad person and say sorry, and everything is wiped clean. I believe, like, the Messianic Jews, you know what I mean?
You say you're a messy Jew?
Messianic Jew.
You are, I'm sorry, speak up for me, Timothy. You said that you're a messy Jew?
Messianic Jew.
What's that?
Like tribe of Benjamin. You know what I mean? Like, we believe in Jesus, but there's no way you could just rape a child and be wiped clean. You know
Timothy,
what I mean?
hold on. I'm not sure why you're calling me. Hold on, but I'm going to let, because I got so many people I want to get to, I'm going to let Sean talk. Don't hang up, Timothy. And so you can be more precise about what you're calling about. All right? Let me go to, what we're going to do while Sean is getting the callers lined up in the right way, let's do some super chat. Hake, come.
Super chat.
Let's
Super chats.
Sean, I don't know what Timothy want. He kind of all over the place. Super chat.
Nobody bought you a coffee.
Thank you, nobody.
Hello, Jesse. Quick question. When you say that women should obey their husbands, does that mean he can tell her what to eat, what to wear, when she can have a drink, or whom she can talk to? I think the husbands are taking advantage of the word and using the wife's obedience as a way to feed their ego, the husband's ego. My husband wants cameras in the house just to watch me get ready for work and monitor what I'm wearing. I feel like a prisoner at times. What is he trying to prevent? Why does he need so much control? Do you think this is normal behavior or fallen state behavior? He's listening, so please help us out. Thank you.
It doesn't make sense what she's saying. I mean, she said, doesn't mean they tell you what to drink, what to eat, and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
But you should think about that question. Where is that kind of question coming from?
Interesting.
Call me about that because it doesn't make sense in the super chat, all right? Because the beginning of the question, where you get those thoughts from, those ideas, I would question that. You know what I mean? I can't answer that because it doesn't make sense. Give me a call at 888-7753-773.
Amazing Asia bought you. Thank you for the coffee. Amazing Asia bought you a coffee. Biblical answer.
Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother?
I believe my impression of my mother came from television and my peers. Growing up, I thought my mother was great. When people would tell me I looked like her, I would be so happy and say thank you. But by the time I got to junior high school, JHS, and started going to other houses and seeing how other people lived, I, quote unquote, realized she was an evil mama and she was nothing like the TV mamas. That's what started my resentment towards her. It was all bad, but I recently forgave her via text, and she never responded.
Amazing. Thank you. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate you responding to the question.
Riley JM bought a coffee. Here's a video of blacks taking words seriously. I got some laughs from it and learned how blacks are insecure. Grown men who are insecure. And he saw some video of a guy calling people by McDonald's names, like, thanks a lot, McMuffin. And the blacks would be like, McMuffin? Overreacting.
Amazing. I was listening to a hate report yesterday, and it's amazing that conversation is still happening about the N-word.
Oh, yeah.
And the reaction to it. It just, though I deal with people every day, all day, and I'm seeing all these different reactions, I understand, but it's crazy.
Somebody called Joel Friday's TV about it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And then there was one guy called you, so like he was an expert with the word. Oh, it was said way back then, and then World War II.
That was Joel Friday TV.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
And then World War II happened, and the white people started. I'm like,
I think it was a Civil War.
Who's going to analyze a word in depth like that? A word that has no meaning at all, but to the weak human nature, it has all kind of meaning.
Yeah.
Who looked up the history of the N-word? And something got to be wrong with you. Amazing.
Mark.
Thank you.
Marcus bought a coffee. I got my impression of my mama. Oh, this is in answer to the biblical question.
Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother?
Marcus says, from the black quote-unquote culture, growing up, getting into fights for other children, saying things about my mama. Songs like Dear Mama from Tupac and Kanye West. George Floyd crying for his mama during his last moments being emphasized in the media, putting the mama over everything and everyone. I forgave my mother and life has never been more peaceful.
So that's where that person got their impression from George Floyd?
No, from the black culture. And he's giving examples of showing that the black culture is really into mama, from Tupac in the 90s and Kanye West in the 2000s.
I know, but where did they get their impression of their mother or grandmother?
He says black culture. He would get into fights with other children saying things about his mother. He says black culture.
Oh, okay. Thank you. There used to be a thing called Don't Play the Dozen. And Don't Play the Dozen is when someone would talk about your mama, and the people would get mad. Don't play the dozen with my mama, saying things about my mama. And it was in the black culture where people were saying you're playing the dozen. What? No, mama is God. But thank you. I'll respond on Sunday if the Lord is willing to create no rise. I appreciate it.
Ada, daughter from God, bought you 80 coffees.
Amazing. Thank you.
With no message. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Pink bought a coffee. These Jason calls lately have been comedy gold. Hud up. Oh, hold up. You are stupid, boy. I guess he's imitating him calling you stupid.
Right.
Someone said it right in the chat. Kid is Tony Jr. He is so into his victim accuser color identity because he believes any lie he hears invalidates that identity. Grow up, Jason, and learn a little English, says Mr. Pink.
Amazing. Thank you.
Prep Ham Paul says it's the mainstream media who always splatters shootings on their front pages for copycats. Now they don't want shooter information out. Emoji.
Amazing. Thank you.
He also says, it's a great pilot voice, Jesse. This is from yesterday. I've had pilots sound like that, rolling on the floor laughing.
Hello, what do you call the towel?
Control.
Control towel. This is John Smith coming in for a landing. Where are you? I'm coming in north on the western side of the world. Okay, Lord. Let me look out here. I can't read this board because I'm on affirmative action. What do you call that? Towel.
Yeah, control.
Control, Tyler. They put me here because of my color. I don't know. Let me look out the window. come in on that. It looked like ain't nobody coming in on the east side. Amazing. Thank you.
He also says about that Cori Bush gal whom you played yesterday, I think. She's not a good enough politician yet. She'll learn how to deflect and redirect properly later down the road.
That ain't gonna happen. If you doubt me, watch this one from so-called AOC. All emotional, no logic, no love. Watch this latest from AOC from TikTok.
Shout out to my fellow radicals in the United States who believe crazy things like a full-time job should be enough for you to live. Shout out to my fellow radicals who think that, we should live in a humane, advanced society. And that we shouldn't be under the thumb of a $7 minimum wage and, racist systems because that just benefits whoever the people are in power to already be in power. So, shout out to my radicals who think that maybe one way that we can deal with a lot of the shortfall that we have is to do things like legalize marijuana and tax the commerce on that so that we can fund our schools. Or, tax the rich. Maybe we can tax the rich so that people who have helipads on their house or near their house can help chip in for black school districts that are perpetually underfunded. How about we do that?
That thing is in our government.
That's ridiculous.
That is running our government. How did she get in there? The people in her district must be really high on some of that good old pot they got that's mixed with fentanyl and voted for that. That is a governmental representative.
Very powerful, strong, deep voice of authority and good sense. I don't think black schools are underfunded. I think they're overfunded.
No, people like that, they use the black because they know that's what blacks are for. They say things like that because they know if black people hear, oh, they're underfunded, black will go, yeah, that's right. So they can get more money, and they think that people like that care about them, and they don't see that they're being used.
Yeah.
That's why they say stuff like that. They just throw it in. She really doesn't mean that at all.
Right.
It's just a way to keep black people on call for destruction.
She's on an ego kick.
Yeah. But she doesn't even sound like an adult.
I know.
She sounds
I think she might be a Hake listener because she was saying shout out.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Nice. Shout out to Cortez.
She probably want to call in on the N-word conversation y'all been having. But anyway.
Is she mildly attractive?
Yeah. Until she starts talking, and then it's like,
telling you, the mildly attracted go out the window real fast.
He's getting old. I think does she still live with that boyfriend? Poor guy.
Amazing.
Soul Conscious.
Thank you.
Soul Conscious bought 3 coffees. Jesse, my answer to the biblical question is,
who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother?
My impressions came from resentment and anger. They were fake, catering to my mother, but deep down inside, I couldn't stand her. Says Soul Conscious.
Thank you. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate it.
Mike Young bought a coffee. Hey, Jesse, how come you haven't had a Jehovah's Witness on the Fallen State?
I don't normally drink that kind of wine.
What's that? Is that a figure of speech?
Is that some type of drink?
Jehovah's Witness on the Fallen State?
Oh, religious people.
Yeah.
Who asked that?
Mike Young.
Thank you, Mike. I don't know. I think I have, though, in the past.
I think you need to fire your producer.
Why?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Oh, Sean.
Shout out to the producer.
Shout out to Sean. I don't know, but thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
Nice. Drew bought you 3 coffees. Shout out to Jason! Double exclamation mark. We are all dealing with something. Stick to that prayer, he says.
That's right. Thank you. Let's stop there. I will clean some coffee. We're going to finish these when I come back. 888-7753-773. Thank you. Let me try. Is Timothy ready? Oh, okay. Timothy, a first time call out of Missouri. Let's try it again, Timothy.
What's up, babe?
All is well. Go ahead.
God bless you.
You too.
Yeah. I was just worried, you know, 'cause I just need some advice from you. You talk good.
Go ahead.
And you're the person I look up to now.
And what's your question for me, Timothy?
Okay, well, I got a couple problems here. I don't know. Well, hey, my girl is tripping, so I'm worried about her, you know? So what do I do right to make her happy?
How is
I
she
live by God. I do everything right.
How is she tripping?
And I'm new to God.
How is she tripping?
She's running around, acting a fool. But she plays the organ in church. So I thought I had a good girl.
Is this your girlfriend?
Yeah.
So
I have a child with her. It's my baby's mother.
You have a what?
I have a child with her.
Oh, okay. What is she doing that you don't want her to do?
Social media.
You tell her not to go onto social media?
Yeah.
And she does it anyway?
Yep.
And what else? One other thing she's doing that you wish you told her to stop doing?
That's it.
And
I mean, like, should I walk away? She is, well, like you say, she's part of the world.
She won't obey you?
No.
So what's the purpose of staying with a woman that will not obey you?
I have a child with her.
But what's the purpose of staying with her knowing that she is not and will not obey you?
I don't know. I feel I have to.
Why?
Why not? Why not? Don't you?
Why do you have to stay with a woman that is not going to obey you? Tell me why you feel that way.
Because I have to be with her. I have to take care of my child, right?
You can't take care of your child without being with her?
Yes, I can.
Why don't you do that then?
I have to. I can do. I got 2 babies' mothers now. I was a part of the world at one point until I found God.
Timothy, you can take care of your children without being with her.
Yeah. And also, you there?
Yeah, hold on, Timothy. I want to give it one more try. You're not getting to the point. I'm going to let Sean talk to you one more time. Let me take a quick break. 2 more hours to go. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Let me take Hake is coming in with the Hake News. 2 more hours to go. Hold on, Timothy. I'm going to let Sean talk to you, and I'll be back in a moment. That way you can be clear. We can move faster. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
Trump pulling ahead of Biden, but the Democrats are winning on abortion, pot, and degenerate candidates to office. And a violation of the Second Amendment seems incoming by way of the so-called conservative-leaning Supreme Court. What a mess. This is the end of Hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Wednesday, November 8th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for Hour 2. JLP will be right back to your calls. There is one line open. You can call in right now while I am reading Hake news, not fake news. Sleepy Joe, gotta go. Call Me Nonsense Network. CNN reports a new CNN poll shows our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, narrowly leading President Joe Biden 49% to 45% in a hypothetical rematch, fraying nerves among the demon rats, I call them. But inside Biden's headquarters, the president's advisors remain confident that his coalition will grow and that he is still the party's best option in 2024 to win the black on the inside White House. Are you down with abortion? The top story, top of the dung pile from the ladies at the Skim, far-left female-run outlet. So-called Americans yesterday voted to protect abortion access. Communist buzzword. Government green light to kill the mostly unborn babies willy-nilly. In Ohio, voters approved a constitutional amendment enshrining the so-called right to abortion and other kinds of reproductive health care, they call it. What a euphemism, right? Ohio is not the first state to pass a pro-abortion rights ballot measure since the so-called Supreme Court rightly overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022. All 6 states with abortion on their ballots voted in favor of protecting access. But Ohio is the first supposedly Republican-led state, if you believe that had the option to enshrine abortion rights in their state constitution, and they took it. Now, as with Roe v. Wade, the state guarantees the right to an abortion until, so-called right, until at least the point of viability around 23 weeks into a pregnancy. What else did the suckers vote for? More self-destruction. Ohio was high on pot. CNN and the Skim report Democrats celebrating a number of key victories. Ohio also legalized recreational use of MJ, marijuana, pot. In Kentucky, Governor Andy Beshear, a Democrat, is keeping his job as a second term after he made abortion rights a key issue in his campaign. But in Mississippi, Republicans did get a win with Governor Tate Reeves clinching his re-election, a rhino, I think. Democrat challenger Brandon Presley conceded. Virginia Democrats took full control of the state legislature, so the Republicans didn't get it, spelling trouble for Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin's agenda. He's also a rhino. Rhode Island voters elected Gabe Amo, Democrat, AMO, to become the state's first black candidate elected to office. Well, it was nice knowing you, Rhode Island. Philadelphia voted in their first ever female mayor, Sherelle Parker. Sounds like a black woman, not sure. Democrat. And in New York City, Yusuf Salam, a supposedly exonerated, not actually exonerated, member of the so-called Central Park Five who beat that woman allegedly, and maybe they didn't rape her, I'm not sure, won a seat on the city council after running unopposed. What a mess, huh? Meanwhile, concerns around voting safely and securely kept some polling places open later than expected. In an off-cycle year, voter turnout can plummet, because it's not the presidential election year, right? Still, those who did turn out provided a glimpse on how voters across the country might be feeling ahead of 2024. As for the Oval Office, 5 Republican candidates will be making their case to America in a so-called debate tonight. The rhinos who are pretending like they're challenging Trump for the presidency. Anyway, gun control. Yesterday, conservative-leaning Supreme Court seemed likely to uphold gun control federal law that blocks people under so-called domestic violence restraining orders from getting guns, according to the ladies at the Skim. 2019, Zaki Rahimi assaulted his girlfriend, allegedly, threatened to shoot her if she told anyone. She got a protective order against him, as a restraining order. His case eventually reached the Supreme Court. So they seemed open to restricting the rights of people who seem dangerous. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
got to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show already. It's the second hour. Ooh. Manhood Hour is coming up in the third hour. We have a guest for you for a few minutes with us in the third hour. You can get involved right now at 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week, who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother? Who or what gave you the impression you have, you know what, put it up. Who or what gave you the impression of your mother and or grandmother? Who gave you that impression? You need Nick or somebody to send it to you? Maybe Sean can send it to you?
I have it in here. I just couldn't find it in here for some reason.
Oh, okay. Amazing. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show, jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, no matter what you're doing, you can listen to the show. Working out, laying up at a beach, beating your husband or beating your wife, smoking fentanyl, trying to swim across the border, selling pot, buying pot, riding your car, smoking pot, whatever. You can be listening to the show, and then you can podcast as well by calling the listen line on your iPhone or iPad at 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. Follow us on JLP Talk on X, JLP Talk on X, and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Like, follow, support, subscribe, ring the bell. Do all those things, all right? I appreciate it. And to donate to have your comments read out loud, go to Bar JLP on Cash App or buymeacoffee.com on JLP/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, and rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. I just never imagined. I don't know what it is. I mean, I do know what it is. I never imagined. I honestly can tell you, without a doubt, that when I was growing up, and I like using that because I have something to compare the good old days with what's happening now. I can hardly tell you that I can hardly tell you that I knew emotional men, older or younger, my age, older or even younger than me. Men were not, though we all men have always had to be born again of the Father since the Adam and Eve thing, but men still knew the difference between the emotional personality of a woman and that of a man, the non-emotional, natural personality of a man. And that's why men were able to keep women in their places, and the men were able to stay in their places. They knew not to let women vote. They knew not, even if when women so-called start voting, the woman will always follow her husband in the way that he voted, because they knew the emotion and logic of the woman, and she knew it too, will always make the wrong decision, so she would follow her husband. When women would gossip and try to get revenge, the men would quickly correct them and rebuke them. I can hear it now. Cut out all that gossiping, woman. But now, just as the Republican Party has become the Democratic Party, a one-party system, men, not all, but have become women, and we have a one-party nature. It's just all female now. I want you to pay attention to how men go for revenge just like a woman. How men, just pay attention to it. Don't point it out, just watch it. How they gossip like a woman. How they get angry and go off like a woman. It's like one party system in America and one abnormal nature in America, and that nature is that of the female. And these are like adult men and young men nowadays. Honestly, that was unheard of when I was growing up. It's like, to the point that it taught me not to be that way. And nowadays, it's gone. We just have a one abnormal nature of everything. But you can be born into the normal nature if you forgive. First, see it in yourself. Go forgive your mama and return to your father by forgiving him. And your nature will change from the nature of evil, which is of the female, to good, which is of God and of the male that has returned to the father. It's not the male nature himself, but it's the father's nature that's in him. It's not uncommon now to see men arguing and fighting and gossiping and carrying on. It's not uncommon now that the men are as bad as the women. Watch this from Fox. A Virginia Democrat accosted and cursed out a Republican poll greeter in an election day confrontation that has gone viral. Watch this from X.
When you people tried to overthrow the election, you might as well have been walking up to my head on the way to the polling station.
This is a Democrat.
Trying to tell me not to vote. You expect me not to take that personally? You try to overthrow elections with violence, and then you're out here among decent people?
Thanks for
coming out.
What do you
have to say that, huh? What are your policy prescriptions?
Have a nice day. You've
rapist rights?
Yeah.
Involving yourself in people's families and their bedrooms?
It's pretty wild.
You animal. You try to steal my vote next year, I'm gonna remember you personally.
Thank you.
You want a one-party country is what you want.
Hey, sir, how are you? Headed in to vote?
Yeah.
Could I get a Republican sample ballot? Sure, thank you.
They put on the face of a good neighbor, but they support lynch dogs, so KKK, or they're Bible-beating bigots and freaks.
Amazing, huh? In the good old days where boys were boys and men were men, they would have just walked by. He would have offered them a flyer. They would say, oh, no, thank you. That would have been it. But he stood there and carried on like a female. He has the female nature, which is of the devil. It's not, ladies, it's not your nature so you can know and overcome it as well. But that's abnormal, folks. Any man that has anger is a female. And he got it by becoming like his mother while growing up as a kid, and his father didn't protect him. What good is it doing that man to argue at that guy like that for passing out a flyer? It was a feeling. It was a thrill. And he called it life. That guy that was arguing with the guy that was passed out, the Democrat guy that was arguing with, I think, Republican guy, was feeling good. He was getting a total thrill. That's what women get in arguing and gossiping and revenge. They get thrills. And man, it's your responsibility to point them away from that. But if you're like that too, because you have not been born again of the Father, amazing, huh? Now do you see it's a spiritual battle and that you must return to the Father, men and women? It ain't you, it's the Spirit in you. The New York Times is reporting President Biden is trailing Donald J. Trump in 5 of the 6 most important battleground states. 1 year before the 2024 election, black voters, long a bulwark for Democrats and for Mr. Biden, are now registering 22% support in these states for Mr. Trump, a level unseen in modern time for a Republican. They're saying that the blacks are voting Republican. And so when my producer and I, my producer and I were going over this morning, and I all of a sudden I wonder if this is true, that the Great White Hope is leading in all these states like this, or is it a tactic that the Democrat and liberal media are using to encourage the Democrats and the radical liberals to get out and vote for them? Because normally these people don't tell the truth about polls. So it might be true that the blacks are voting for the Great White Hope in numbers, but because I know the games that the media play with when it comes to elections and things like that, about the polls and all that, I can't just believe it. Though I would like to believe it, but I just can't just believe it. And I was talking to you earlier about how the men are as bad as the women. Before I go back to the phones and the super chats, 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. I want to show you how the men have become the woman. We have one nature in America now. The men are just like the women, just like the Republican Party, and just like the Democratic Party, no different. Here's another example of everyone going through the same thing. CBS and Wikipedia is where we get this from. Jay-Z's father abandoned the family, and Jay-Z and his 3 oldest siblings were raised by his mother. Jay-Z said he cried tears of joy when his mother came out to him as a lesbian. Jay-Z says, I cried because I was so happy for her that she was free. Watch this from CBS.
I'm trying to figure out what matters most to you. Can you even pick anything like that?
I think what matters most is being a beacon and helping out my culture, people of color. I think I pull the most satisfaction from that.
You know, you said you'll keep rapping as long as you have truth to give. And the question is, what is your truth?
It's constantly learning. You're making mistakes in front of the whole world. Mm-hmm. And to be that vulnerable in front of the entire world, it's not an easy thing. My beautiful grandmother, her name is Hattie White. She raised 7 kids. And my grandmother, the reason why I'm like reserved and hold my feelings in, it comes from her, to my mother, to me. Yeah. She just, she just keeps everything close to the vest, and that's who she is. I got a lot of my ways from her. And my mother got a lot of ways from her as well. I see it now when they talk and and everything they do now. I'm just analyzing them. I'm like, oh,
that's where I get that from. Yeah.
Maybe I'm just like my mama. She's never satisfied. He's proud, it seems, to be like his mama. We now have one nature in America, and that is of the female nature. At one time, there was two natures in America, and the country was amazing then. The men were leading the way because they were of God, not of mama. Did he mention in that soundbite he was glad his mama came out? I didn't hear that. Did you hear that, Shel? What's up?
No, I didn't.
I didn't hear that either. But
yeah. He said that she's free. Or did you say that?
I said that. But I'm reading the writing here, but I didn't hear him say anything about his mama coming out. Did you hear anything like this, Shel, in that soundbite? He didn't mention it in the soundbite, but according to CBS and Wikipedia, that's what he said. I was looking for it in the soundbite. My back. Everybody is going through the same thing. Different situations, but the same thing. That's why you must be born again. All who are born through the woman must be born of the Father. Ain't no way out, folks. You can sing, you can rap, you can dance, you can holler, you can pop lock, you can do well, and you're still of your mother. Taylor Swift. Another example, everyone going through the same thing. U.S. Weekly is reported Taylor Swift started singing songs about boys and breakups in the early 2000s. Watch this for Vogue.
What's one thing you still have from your childhood?
My insecurities.
What do you think is the most important life lesson for someone to learn?
That karma's real.
Amazing. It's the same spirit, folks. It's the same thing. And according to U.S. Weekly, Taylor Swift started writing his songs about boys and breakup in the early 2000s. You must be born again. Money and popularity does not change it. It can't, it won't. And your entertainers, no matter what form of entertainment they're doing, they're as miserable and afraid as you are. Insecure, unhappy, because the spirit of evil is still in them. It's in the mind and emotion. And nothing physical can take that away. Nothing, zero. No body, no physical thing or anything. Another example, because y'all think these entertainers are free, and they're not. They go home and cry at night. They go home and yell at their boyfriend or girlfriend, husband or wife. They're not free. They go home and yell at their children if they have any. They do exactly what you do. They have the same fear you have, and yet you worship them. We have come into this house with holy hands to worship you. We've come into this house with holy hands to worship you. Gweneth Paltrow, according to Wikipedia, Gweneth Paltrow is an American actress and businesswoman. Watch this for Vogue.
What's your biggest vice?
My one alcoholic drink a week.
What's your biggest virtue?
Everything else.
What's one thing that really annoys you?
Incompetence.
What's the most valuable thing that you've learned from your parents' marriage?
Stick it out.
What has been the biggest surprise about motherhood?
How much love there is in this thing.
And who is your mentor, and what's the most valuable advice that they've given you?
A guy named Brian who says, when you have a problem, you got to try 1,000 things 1,000 times.
That's good advice. And what is your relationship with the word ambitious now?
I think it's a good word, especially for women to embrace.
If you could go back in time, which younger version of Gweneth Paltrow would you want to have a talk with, and what would you say?
Probably the one when I was about 19 years old. I was particularly lost at that juncture, and I think I would just want to tell her to really become very, very close to herself, because that's how life gets a lot less painful.
Poor Gweneth. See how blind she is? And the guy like, that's good advice. That's all bad advice. All bad advice. Nothing good about it. No good advice in that at all. Oh, but she's an entertainer. And you worship her. Wikipedia. Sean Love Combe, also known by his stage name Puff Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or Diddy, is an American rapper, record producer, and actor. You know you got some problems. You got even the names. You got to keep switching them. Watch this from Vogue.
Before we begin, how do I address you?
You can call me Love.
And you've referred to yourself differently over the years, so I gotta ask you, why so many name changes?
It depends on my mood, my vibe.
Love, how do you describe yourself?
I'm vivacious, eccentric, and I'm a Scorpio.
What's your biggest strength?
My belief in God.
What's your biggest weakness?
Fried chicken.
Best personal trait?
My compassion.
What's one thing you need every morning?
I need a hug.
What's one thing you want for your kids?
Oh, peace, happiness, love. I want it all for my kids.
Who's your biggest
money?
Who's your biggest inspiration?
My biggest inspiration is my mother.
What is your hope for the future in general?
My hope for the future is that my people, African Americans, will get a chance to build some economic wealth, to make some positive changes in our community so we can stop asking people for things. And that my people just get a peace of mind, man, just to get a day to breathe. And I have to think about getting shot or killed, being oppressed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
All lies. His people have to think about getting shot, oppressed. He wants his people to make money so they can build their community, our community, as he said. Does he even live in a black community? What is called a black community? What is our community? And you worship them. And they have the same problem you have. And you worship them. You don't know how to enjoy their entertainment without worshiping them. And they know it, so they go on a total ego trip. And they give out bad advice. And when you try it, it doesn't work. Here's the solution. But do what you want with it. Get to know yourself. Don't base it on anyone else. Know thyself. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Overcome anger. Forgive. I don't care who else don't forgive. You forgive. Forgive your mama so you can overcome her nature, which is of the devil, and it's not her nature, but it's the spirit of evil that made a home in her. And you have it too, male and female. And forgive your father. He can protect you from your mother, but you got to love him so through him you can turn to God. And then you shall see, and then you shall live. And life will happen naturally. And no matter what happens in the physical, for you, you would know who you are, really are, not the not you, and you will have an amazing life. And the children of the darkness will hate the children of the light. That's what it's all about. TJ is out of 888-7753-773. TJ is out of the United Kingdom, UK. TJ, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I was going to answer the biblical question, if I may.
Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother?
Because everything is upside down. Thank you for this question. It made me really think, and I realized the world has given me the impression of my mother, or gave me the impression of...
Go ahead.
So I realized it was things like Mother's Day, Mother's Nature, Mother Nature, Mother Mary, equality. So they were all the worldly ideas that had me understand the concept of mother. But if I'd understood the scriptures, I would realize, I think this is a biblical question, that Eve actually means the mother of death. So evening, evening. That a wife is hard to find. It's better to be unmarried. And that you must be born again. Every person born of the mother must be born again of the Holy Spirit. And if I'd also read the scriptures, I would have known, or been shown the scriptures, that I would have known that God's order. So my entire understanding of what a mother was worldly. And that's caused great confusion. But I'm not confused now.
Amazing. Well, I appreciate you, TJ, for the input in on that. And I will put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you, man.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Al from Florida. Let's see here. Al, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Hold on, Al. That's not Al. Let's see what I'm doing. What the... Al, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hey, Al.
Thank you. How you doing, buddy? Thank you very much for having me on the show, man.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling.
Well, I wanted to ask you about something, but then I figured I answered the biblical question.
Are you on a speakerphone, Al?
No, I'm not. Let me walk out of this building that I'm in here.
Oh,
Do I
okay.
sound better now?
Yeah, you're fine. Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother?
Well, I was raised by a nana because my mother was 16 years old when 19 years old when I was born. So my dad hired a nana. But my impression of my mother was put on there from her. The impression, by definition, is the pressure. She put the pressure on me. So, in her way, she was impatient. She couldn't handle having a bunch of kids and money and stuff like that. And she was very impatient. I remember her in traffic.
Al, hold on for me. Let me take a quick break, all right?
All right, buddy, go ahead.
888-7753-773. A quick break, back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they will become it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. check out my books, folks. Amazing books. Amazing. I highly recommend them. The Antidote. No, not the Antidote, but the From Rage to Responsibility. From Rage to Responsibility was my first book. And then Scam, How the Black Leadership Exploits Black America. And then the 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual and Family and Financial Success Guide, a little small pocket guide. We are out of them in paper right now, but we are reprinting now. They're doing a reprint right now. But you can get the 7 Guaranteed Steps. It's available on Kindle and audiobook. So go to rebuildingtheman.com/store, and there's a link there to Amazon.com where you can purchase the 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Financial, and Success Guide. And we're going to be have the reprint done soon. And last but not least, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. The Antidote. And I will sign them for you. If you go to rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663 to order, I will sign them. But if you order in a store or something, I can't sign them, of course. But check them out, especially the 7 Guaranteed Step and the Antidote. Amazing. The Hake Report coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. The Hake Report from 9 to 11. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon Pacific time. So check them out. It's amazing. Let me go quickly back to Al. Al is responding to the biblical question of this week. And so, Al, what is or was your impression of your mother?
She was very impatient and angry. I mean, I started to say, I remember her in traffic when I was just as young as I can remember, man. In traffic, and I don't know, people honking on her because whatever reason, and she'd jump out the car and just be screaming at people, and then just touching herself, and I mean, just messed up stuff, you know.
Wow.
And like, what the hell is going on here? And I knew from a young age that I didn't want nothing to do with her, man. From a young age, and she knew that. So I took on. So I attached myself to my grandma, not my grandma, my nana, which was very emotional, you know.
Yeah. Did your father help? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That she was very emotional. That's where I got the emotional side of it. And she used to play with me with the emotions too. My grandma, I mean, not my grandma, my nana.
And did
she
your
was just
father
hired on to help, you know?
Did your father help protect you from your mother?
Yeah, he really did. He really did. I mean, he really did. But eventually, she won, you know. In some ways, she won, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know.
Amazing. Well, Al, I appreciate you responding to the biblical question, and I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you, man.
Well, Jesse, I wanted to talk about something else, man.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted you to talk about different faces of anger. The different faces of anger. Anger isn't always slamming doors and screaming, throwing shit. You talk about that many times, and I want you to touch on that today, bro.
Well, anger, I was talking to someone yesterday, and they were telling me about their girlfriend, how meek and nice and sweet she is, right? And she looked like she just wouldn't hurt a fly. But in reality, she's very, just, you know, she won't obey him. She's very destructive. And those nice ones are the worst ones because they are quiet. But yet they are as bad or even worse than the one that yell and scream and throw things at you. It's the same spirit because anger, period, is evil. It doesn't matter how you overreact with anger, it's still the same spirit. Anger is evil, and there's no level of it at all. It's just pure evil. There's nothing else about anger but evil.
So is anger, is envy anger?
Envy is 100%. 100%. Envy, jealousy, strife, revenge, loneliness.
That's what I want to hear, bro.
Loneliness, happiness, sadness, love, emotions, love, all of it is anger.
Okay, I want you to touch on that subject today, my friend. That's very important because sometimes people say, "Well, he's not angry, she's not angry. I don't see him throwing nothing around," but they don't see other things,
right?
That create another problem in somebody's head if they're not careful.
Yes,
and they'll make you make you get angry from their stupidity or their evil.
Yeah,
so
absolutely
incredible.
And so,
well, thank you very much, Jesse. Go ahead, buddy.
If you watch that, let's say you're dealing with an angry person, and you overcome or have overcome anger, you will be able to see what's going on inside of them, but you would not judge them for it because you understand now. You have understanding. And when you're not judging them for it, you are protected from them. The hell in them cannot affect you at all.
I have learned that from you, Jesse.
So just continue to watch it, and you'll be fine. That person will carry on and act out and do wicked things, but it wouldn't bother you because it's not you, it's them.
But Jesse, sometimes you avoid all that stuff and you don't think about it, but their evil continues and it grows, and it sees that you don't really seem like you're paying attention, but you are.
Yeah,
absolutely. But their evil grows,
Yeah, you see, but you're not a part of it. Thank you, Al. Appreciate it, buddy.
Right.
I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday.
I'll wait, good, buddy. Take care, man.
All right, now. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Chad, a first-time caller out of Wisconsin. Chad, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you very much, Jesse.
You're welcome. Okay, go ahead.
I'm calling in today to touch on the whole biblical question you got going on with mother. I had sort of an interesting upbringing. I was like in second grade, and my parents they both overdosed, and I ended up living with aunts and uncles for months. And then my mom never came back, and I was with my dad, and he married another woman, my stepmom, and she became like the light in my life. My grandmother on my mom's side, they still tried to be in my life. On my stepmom, she was all about it. Everything's totally supportive. I was raised on the belt. In them days, born in '72, being 50. There was that's how I was normally raised by. I wouldn't be who I was today if I didn't take the belt to the ass like I did. But I'm just, my stepmom had passed away for the last 4 years since COVID, and my whole family excommunicated me. They don't talk to me no more. So I've been reaching out to my real mom. Now I found her, and she just is in total denial about everything that happened, and I don't know how to forgive her to move, so I can move past that, so I can have peace in my life. Because I'm striving some kind of family membership, family to be in my life, and I don't know how to get the forgiveness from them or how to give to them to have a sense of meaning in life right now.
And so when your parents overdosed, they didn't die? They just overdosed?
Yes.
So they're not dead? They didn't die?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
And now you're trying to figure out how to forgive your mother?
Yeah, because she went in the military and was gone for a bunch of years. And she tried making a comeback when I was 15 and 16, and I just started working a job then, and I wasn't giving up my weekends to go spend time with her because I wanted to make money, because I wanted to have the nice shoes and clothes I had to buy, because 7 kids, parents couldn't buy clothes for kids like that then.
And how old are you now?
We'll be 51 come December 14th.
And how are you today?
I am 50 right now.
And your question to me is what?
How do I let all these bygones be bygones and move on to the next stage?
Oh, okay, good question. You know how inwardly you're not at peace? You don't have perfect peace?
No.
And you want it, but something else is making you feel all different kinds of ways. One day you feel this way, one day you feel that way, and it's just back and forth, and you can't help it, right?
Correct.
Your mother and your father and everyone you know is going through the same thing, and they cannot help it because the same spirit that's in your mind and your emotions that making you feel that way is doing it to them, and they pass that on to you because that's all they had. That was their nature. They couldn't help it. And knowing that you can't help yourself would cause you to understand that they could not help themselves. And in that understanding, you would apologize to them for resenting them, because the only thing that's keeping you away from God, away from the Father, away from perfect peace, away from love, is that you have not forgiven. You have not admitted that you were wrong for being angry. Your only problem that you have in your life, you have no other problem, but you have not confessed to yourself, I have anger and I'm wrong for having anger. Once you do that, Chad, everything will immediately start to change.
So it's got to be that reaches out. So I should reach out and try to make my amends?
Yeah, what you do is contact your mother and your father, whomever, and say, hey, mother, I realize now that you couldn't help yourself. I understand, because I understand about me, I understand that you couldn't help yourself, and I am sorry for resenting you. I'm sorry for becoming angry. Don't ask for forgiveness. Only God gives forgiveness. Human being doesn't. We admit we are wrong, and God will forgive us. So just say, I'm wrong for resenting you. I know now you can help yourself, and have no expectation. If she apologizes, fine. If she doesn't, fine. If she admits she was wrong, fine. If she doesn't, fine. If she acts like she doesn't understand, fine. And if she does, fine. I'm sorry for resenting you, and God will forgive you, Chad, and your life will start to change.
All right. Thank you very much.
And also do the silent prayer. Are you familiar with the silent prayer?
Not right offhand.
Well, go to rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. Rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. I want you to start doing that so God can bring you out of the darkness of your imagination, out of the darkness of thoughts.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, buddy. Let me know how it goes, all right?
All right, will do. Thank you, Jesse.
But listen, have no expectation when you say, I'm wrong for resenting you, because they may not be ready to admit they're wrong, and it has nothing to do with your freedom at all. You forgive them, then you admit you're wrong, and that's what forgiveness is, and you go and live your life. You don't need them anymore.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate the kind words.
All right, buddy.
Have a good day.
You too. Amazing. Super chat. Super chats.
Danny Moore bought you a coffee. Jesse, is it okay to start to let my 8-year-old son about God and all thoughts are lies, etc., and tell him to forgive his mother? Or is that too much for info for a young boy?
Yeah, that's too much. If you see that he's angry, just say, hey, son, don't be angry. Your mother's wrong, but don't be mad. Speak up, but don't be angry. And he'll realize that as a kid. And then as he get older, he will start to ask you more questions. Then he's ready to understand them. But you be a living example of perfect love, and he'll see that in you, and he'll be fine. But let him ask first. But you can't say, don't be angry. You're going to become like your mother if you become angry. Speak up, son, but don't be angry. Thank you.
Also on buymeacoffee.com. Mike Young, hey, Jesse, here in Houston, we have a runoff election in December. Sheila Jackson Lee versus John Whitmore. And I will say, Houston, we do have a problem. Sheila Jackson Lee will be the next mayor of Houston because she's black and a liberal, and the blacks of Houston clearly don't care that it's over for Houston because Sheila Jackson Lee doesn't care about what's right and law and order. Just like you said, Jesse, whenever you put the blacks in charge, they will turn cities into a ghetto. And Jesse, if you think that Lori Lightfoot was bad, you just wait for Sheila Jackson Lee to cause havoc for Houston. It's over for Houston. Rest in peace, Houston, Texas.
Yeah, I saw that she was running for mayor. That she nasty, evil Sheila Jackson Lee. She's wicked to the core. And so if the Houston voters elect her, vote for her, they get what they deserve. The people get the type of government they elect. And they know that this woman is an evil, nasty, using racism for everything, kind of female. So they get what they deserve, Mike. Thank you.
I think it's John Whitmire is the guy who's trying to run for mayor. Not Whitmore. Alpha Trucker 67.
I'm not familiar with him.
Me either. Alpha Trucker 67, 5 coffees. If women give from their life to the baby in the womb, and men give from their life through the seed, does this mean that every time us men produce and distribute seed without producing a child, we are throwing away life God gave us?
100%. Every time you let your little seed thing go, you're dying. 100%. That's why even in basketball games and football games, I don't know if they still do it, or boxing, they tell you not to let your seed go. You need the energy, you need the life that comes from the seed. Amazing. Thank you.
Chalice bought several Cash App.
Well, it doesn't come from the seed, but it is part of what you need. It's your energy.
Nice. Chalice, several Cash Apps saying, thank you, thanks for all you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Many of them on Cash App. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Cam G as well donated on Cash App. And Jack Bennett, too, with an invite tip. Thank you.
Thank you.
Canadian David says, most women Hake finds mildly attractive. I find mildly retractive. Thanks for the Rumble support, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do find some of the mildly attractive gals mildly repulsive as well.
Amazing. Thank you.
On Buy Me a Coffee, someone bought a coffee. I realized that at times sympathy is evil. The reason it's evil is because sympathy can paralyze you and prevent you from taking the right action. You shouldn't identify with your own emotions or anyone else's.
Amazing.
Facts.
That's right. Thank you. Her son said, oh, that's how you make boys first. What's how you make boys first?
Seed retention.
No, that's not it.
Elias.
Good try, though.
Elias Garcia bought a coffee. Jesse, would you agree there's 3 genders, men, women, and mentally ill? Have a blessed day.
No, only 2. Thank you.
Nobody bought a coffee.
Male and female.
Nobody bought a coffee. Referring to Timothy's call, this is what I'm talking about. Why does he want her off social media? Is it because of his ego and he doesn't want other men to like her pictures? What's the line between obeying and catering to the man's ego? Catering to an ego seems evil to me.
Amazing. Timothy, I guess he hung up.
Yeah, we weren't able to get what his real point was.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out what was really his question was. If you get it right, Timothy, and you have a direct question or comment, let me know. Call me back. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, nobody. You can call in, too. Zuzu CC on bought a coffee. Love, heart emoji. Jesse Boo, heart eyes emoji. Make it make sense on how you still don't look 74 to me. 2 black hands clapping emojis.
Black don't cry. Amazing. And the secret is have no anger. And you will be tested to see if you have anger. But if it's not there, no matter what the test may be, you'll be fine. Anger destroys every fiber in your body. Everything. Every cell. Everything about you. Let the spirit, it's a spirit and it's evil, and in it is no love. Nothing good about anger. Amazing. Thank you, Sion.
Jesse, on Google Maps, there's a bum on the bench in front of Chase Bank. Is he still there? What a mess. Amazing, says NY Chill Boy with a coffee.
Amazing. Thank you.
We run them off around here. We don't let them stay around here.
That's right.
But we do it humanely. Chalice.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I just said that for the sake of the channels.
Oh, thank you.
Chalice bought several more Cash Apps. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Tim Scott, the real one, not to be confused with the Rhino, says...
Not debated Tim Scott, so-called conservative.
Right. This one is in the chat. He says, pay the toll. Nice.
Thank you. Who does this hate?
That's Trump, according to you.
Yeah, that's right.
Jack Bennett.
You ever see Trump do that?
Yeah. Jack Bennett.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first.
That's why they hate him. Amazing. Thank you.
Casey Adler Dees says make America great again. Thank you guys for the support, and Jack Bennett too, appreciate you. And Matthew B says for all the fentanyl, just playing. Wish it was more. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I got to take a break. 1 more hour to go. Manhood Hour is coming up. Am I supposed to be making an announcement right now? Manhood Hour is coming up. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news. I think I was supposed to be making an announcement, but I don't see no reminder, so I may be wrong. I'll be back in a moment, folks. Your calls and super chats, thank you for them. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought, because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
Whole lot of mess going on in the world. Rashida Tlaib censured. Was she censored too? Health officials warned about newborn syphilis cases. Terrible. And the housing market is the worst it's been, least affordable since 1984. Wow, that's crazy. This is the end of Hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Wednesday, November 8th, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for Hour 3. But you might want to head on over to rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson/live or dlive.tv/Jesse Lee Peterson or cozy.tv/JLP or x.com/JLP Talk. That's Twitter, X. Or kick.com/Jesse Lee Peterson to catch Hour 3 Manhood Hour coming right up, guys. You can find all of the platforms by going to jlptalk.com, which is jesseleepeterson.com/show for all of the alternative live streaming services on which we stream. That's the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, jesseleepeterson.com/show. Rashida censored, quote, "We are human beings just like anyone else," says Democrat Representative Rashida Tlaib, according to CNN and The Skim, sharing remarks Tuesday after the House passed a Republican-led bipartisan, meaning evil, resolution to censure her over her recent remarks critical of Israel and in support of the Palestinians. Michigan Demon Rat is the first Palestinian-American anchor baby, not to be confused with the real American anchor baby, Nick, the American anchor baby, after the Jesse Lee Peterson Show after Hake, to serve her own ego in Congress. And she argues that the censure resolution is an effort to silence her amid Israel's war against Hamas. Last night, the bipartisan Evil House voted 234-188 to censure Evil Tlaib, Democrat from Detroit, Michigan, born in Detroit, to immigrant Palestinians in America. 22 Democrats voted with most Republicans to censure that gal. It's the highest punishment. It's just below expulsion. The vote came after Tlaib criticized Biden's handling of the latest Israel-Hamas war and posted video, like he's handling anything, video showing protesters chanting the phrase, "From the river to the sea." The rest of the popular chant says, "Palestine will be free," and also says, "No peace on stolen land," the video does. Some see the phrase as a call for equal rights, no such thing. Others, like the extremely evil ADL, Anti-Defamation League, deem the phrase as anti-Semitic and as a call for the eradication of Israel, which is between the river and the sea. The River Jordan and I guess the Mediterranean Sea? I don't know geography. Rashida Tlaib describes the phrase as an aspirational call for freedom, human rights, commie buzzword, and peaceful coexistence, not death, destruction, or hate, even though hate is all she has, because she wanted to impeach the MFer of President Trump for no reason. This marks the second effort in a week to censure Rashida Tlaib during the latest Israel-Hamas war. Ahead of the vote, Tlaib gave a speech on the House floor saying she would not be silenced. She also said, "I can't believe I have to say this, but Palestinian people are not disposable. We are human beings, just like anyone else. Speaking up to save lives, Mr. Chair, no matter faith, no matter ethnicity, should not be controversial in this chamber." What a mess. Vote comes as Israel says they're surrounded Gaza City, and Hamas's leader, Yahya Sinwar, was reportedly alone in a bunker. The news comes as authorities investigate the death of 69-year-old Jewish man following the protest/riot in California that you heard about on the Jesse Lee Peterson show yesterday. What health officials are warning about? Newborn syphilis cases, sexually transmitted disease, STI, STD, typically leads to sores and skin rashes, almost eradicated in the early 2000s thanks to rapid screening and awareness. Now it's on the rise, with transmission growing from pregnant mothers to their so-called fetuses, babies. Last year, the CDC documented 3,700 cases of syphilis in newborns, highest in 30 years. Those impacts can be deadly, with the infant death in up to 40% of cases. What a mess. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3, Manhood Hour.
Got to stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. There are two lines open if you want to jump in there at 888-7753, 773, 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. My biblical question for this week. My biblical question. Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother? Who or what gave you the impression you have of your mother and or grandmother? What caused or who caused you to see them in the way that you see them? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about doing what you're doing, what you know that you're doing, you can listen to the show. You can also podcast, but you can still listen live on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us, JLP Talk on X, and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Like, follow, ring the bell, subscribe, telephone, telegraph, and tell your mama. Tell a woman. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or rebuildingaman.com, or Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. So it is Wednesday, and the last hour of every Wednesday show is Manhood Hour. What is a man? What is a man?
It's an adult human male.
Manhood. Hillary or President Trump?
I voted for Hillary Clinton.
Beta male. A man is a male who turned to man. Alpha male. Live right, be right, and lead the way.
Gabby, what are we celebrating?
My divorce!
And where does it end? How will it ever end?
Caught on video what appears to be a brazen robbery on the 10 freeway.
This divorce was really hard on him.
So what happened?
She started hitting me, and I just started defending myself. Really pissed.
So she's mad at you because you weren't here for the carpet.
Yeah, and then she was mad that I showed up.
Okay, I got divorced. So did I.
The teens appear to communicate with each other, at times covering their faces and also laughing.
What did you see them doing? They were flipping us off.
Police say they also hit this 72-year-old cyclist that morning.
What a mess. That's what's happening in my world today. I'm waiting for instructions right now, and then I want to get to my guest. Oh, okay. We're headed over to Rumble for a guest. Rumble.com. Rumble. You got to know how to rumble.